What up guys, Judge Morris here, and today I'm going to be going over the Aggron Raid. Kind of give you an Aggron Raid guide, like what you should bring in, what types are super effective against him, and then I'll go into some footage of a Aggron Raid that I did earlier today. We had a group of 10 and we took it down. And then when I come back after that, I have one, I guess, kind of lesser known thing about Aggron that I think a lot of people haven't figured out yet, so stick around until the end. But just to kick things off, Aggron has 3 weaknesses, and that's going to be ground, fighting, and water. And he's going to be double weak on ground and fighting, and then just have a single weakness to water. So if you can get ground or fighting, that's going to be ideal. If you don't have enough ground and fighting Pokemon, then go ahead and go to water. To give you a few recommendations, when we're talking ground, the first one you're going to want to consider bringing in your team would be Groudon, and ideally you're going to want the Mud Slap Earthquake moveset. You can do it with other movesets, but that's going to be ideal because those are his ground moves. After Groudon, you're going to want Donphan. Now Donphan is a pure ground type, and the ideal moveset for him, actually he doesn't have 2 ground moves. He has Counter, which is a fighting move, and Earthquake, and that's actually ideal for him, but because Aggron is also double weak to fighting, Counter, Earthquake, Donphans are just fine. You know, you'll end up doing around the same amount of damage. Beyond Donphan, you're going to want to move to, and here's where it's an iffy, I would say Golem and Rhydon, if they have Mud Slap Earthquake. Now the problem with that is Aggron is a rock steel type, and if Aggron has steel type moves, he's going to be super effective on your Rhydon and your Golem because steel is super effective on rock. So I mean, if you can avoid, if you have other stuff to bring, I would probably bring that other stuff instead of Golem or Rhydon. Moving on to fighting types, the obvious answer is going to be Machamp. Best fighting type Pokemon in the game. The one exception to that is if you have Heracross with, and Heracross is a regional exclusive, if you have Heracross with fighting type moves, go ahead and use Heracross. I'm guessing a lot of people aren't going to have Heracross though, so go with Machamp. And on Machamp you're going to want Counter, Dynamic Punch. If you have other fighting type movesets with Machamp, that's okay too. Just fighting type movesets on Machamp. You don't want his steel movesets. So no Bullet Punch, no whatever his other steel moves are. After Machamp, and this is going to be a little bit controversial, but it works well for me, I'm saying Ursaring with fighting type moves. And Ursaring's fighting type moves are Counter and Close Combat. If you have an Ursaring with those 2 fighting type moves, it's worth bringing in because a lot of gym defenders like Blissey, Snorlax, Slacking, are going to be weak to fighting types, and I've actually used Ursaring to straight up take down very powerful Blisseys and very powerful Snorlaxes. And Ursaring can also get up to 2700, 2800 CP, so he's a good pick for an Aggron Raid. Beyond Ursaring, I would probably go Blaziken, and the ideal moveset with Blaziken is going to be, I think it's Counter and then Focus Blast. I know Focus Blast is a charge. I forget what his first fighting type move is. I think it's Counter. But basically the fighting type moves on Blaziken. Moving on to water, the obvious choice right now is Kyogre. And for him you're going to want Waterfall Hydro Pump. If you have moves that aren't Waterfall Hydro Pump, not worth doing it. Or at least less worth doing it. After Kyogre, you're going to want to consider Gyarados. Same moveset, Waterfall Hydro Pump. Don't bring him in if he's, you know, dark with Bite Crunch or Dragon Tail or, you know, whatever else. And then actually a Dragon Tail Hydro Pump may not be that bad. I don't know. But you're going to ideally want his water moves. And then the third you're going to want to consider for water types would be Vaporeon. And for him, ideally you're going to want to go with Water Gun Hydro Pump. So yeah, those would be my recommendations on who to bring in for an Aggron Raid. Now I just edited and threw in a whole bunch of pictures of these different Pokemon. Ignore my screenshots movesets because I didn't have the ideal movesets for all of them, only some of them. So just go for the movesets I said, not what's in the actual pictures. yeah, and so with that, we're going to kick straight into the Aggron Raid that I did earlier today. We had a group of 10. I'll kick straight into that, and I'll come back after. Okay guys, so yeah, I super lucked out, caught Aggron on the first ball with an excellent curve. I was pretty stoked. 89%, was not shiny, and I think it's still up in the air. I had people tell me at the raid that you can catch a shiny Aggron in a raid. I have yet to confirm that myself or like see actual like evidence of someone doing that yet, but they seem pretty sure, so I'm gonna go with that for now. One cool thing I wanted to show you guys that I don't think a lot of people are aware of just yet about Aggron, and I'll post the shot right here. And I switched Aggron over to my buddy. His buddy distance for Aggron candies is going to be 1 kilometer, which is the lowest distance you can get on a buddy apart from Magikarp. Now I don't know if this is a glitch or if Niantic screwed up or whatever, but I'm gonna let all you guys know that this is something you should be taking advantage of. A 1 kilometer distance buddy is great. And especially since I think a lot of people are gonna wanna be powering up 2 Aggrons. One with powerful IVs, to have a powerful one for gyms, like holding gyms and taking gyms, and one in case you get a shiny. You know, so you're gonna want the shiny candies for the shiny and candies for the high IV one. So that's going to be all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the Aggron Raid guide. Let me know if you have any comments or thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.